Very good.
Have you looked at the thermometer?
It's going up 2 degrees since yesterday. In a while, I'll take a look at the air conditioner.
Anyway, I think I've got more than enough points. That's 17, isn't it? This doesn't interest me anymore. You're already beaten.
You're quitting now? You were just about to win.
You can't catch me now.
I wouldn't count chickens before they're hatched. 1.
Always the optimist.
2. Keep count. I'll do it faster than you. Keep track of me.
I'll give Marge a hand.
3.
I'm hungry.
4.
I think I'll surprise you with something new today.
Good idea.
5.
Hey, why don't you stop now? That way you'll be able to keep on thinking that you could have won.
I like everything very clear. You win, or you lose. 6.
You can put that away. We don't need it.
I'm going to see what she's up to. She's still asleep. I don't know. I think she ought to eat something.
Let her sleep. It's better for her. Not again. I told Chris to stop fooling around. But I can see it's useless to say anything.
It's time for the connection with Peter.
Those sounds are driving me crazy.
Come in, double Omicron. Double Omicron, come in. T.K. O'Donnell is listening. Do you hear me? T.K. O'Donnell is listening. Come in, double Omicron. Over.
Double Omicron, come in.
Turn the volume down. Those noises are bothering everybody in the house.
The time has passed and Peter's not sending. Unless those sounds I'm recording mean something.
There's something wrong with your radio. Here. And don't forget your vitamins.
Okay, right away. Thanks, Mom. Double Omicron, come in. T.K. O'Donnell is listening. T.K. O'Donnell is listening. Come in. Come in.
Curious. I began to play in the academy. And I wasn't that bad. And then they sent me to Alaska. Pass me the ketchup, would you? I was 3 years without seeing a billiard table. And when I got back, I discovered that I was as good as ever.
Playing well is a mental problem. A matter of mental stability. This is what you hit the ball with. You know, the game today made me think that I can adapt better to this situation than I thought I could.
Yes. Like Sheridan.
Why did you say that?
Because he, too, seemed to be perfectly adapted. I've been going through his papers. There are some notes which reflect the progression of his... The game isn't over. Whenever you're ready, we'll finish it.
Chris hasn't been able to get through to Peter.
It's unimportant. He just tells us what he's told us every day.
It's just that he's late. That's all. We'll hear from him any minute now. Would you give me something for Carol's fever?
It must be. From what they told me, it's always difficult.
No, I don't think it could be that.
Here. Give her one of these. It'll be good for her.
I've used all my sleeping pills. And it's getting harder for me to get to sleep.
You know it's not good to mix them with stimulants. Go on then. Take all of them. And poison yourself if you feel like it.
Pussy? Where could he be?
All right, out you go. Carol, here. You have to take this.
I don't want to take anything.
I don't need it.
It'll bring your fever down.
I just don't want it.
Whatever you want.
Bob, what time was that?
What difference does it make? We're not going anyplace today. Margie, why don't you come to bed now?
Robert, I haven't been in church for years, but we should have done something for him. A prayer hour. He really did believe.
You did? Come on. We'll talk about it tomorrow. It concerns everybody.
Carol. You want something?
Give me a sip. I was thirsty.
How do you feel?
I don't know. Sleeping makes the time pass quicker, but I'm tired of staying in bed. Arthur took his sleeping pills and is sleeping like a log. I feel as though I was sleeping with a corpse. I can't stand it.
And suppose we were all corpses. Have you stopped to think we all might be dead?
The things you think of.
They're not my ideas. They're Sheridan's. And he was right. Why should we be alive?
Shut up. Are you trying to frighten me? We're young and we're alive.
Really?
And the others?
I suppose they're sleeping.
sleeping or in bed. It's not the same thing, is it, Chris?
I know it's not the same thing.
What are you reading?
I was looking through these drawings. They're interesting.
I'd like to have lived then.
Me too.
It must have been exciting. But a little uncomfortable, don't you think?
Maybe.
Ah. And what period is this from?
Well, I swear I didn't put it there.
It's just natural, Chris. Did you ever think that a naked woman looks good in any time? Look, close your eyes and imagine me here, naked. Close your eyes, Chris. Look at the drawing, Chris, and close your eyes. Close them.
I don't know what's wrong with him. He's acting very strange.
Stop worrying about him so much.
Look, Robert. He's hurt himself.
Where?
There's blood on his paw. My poor baby.
Let's see. I don't see anything.
What is it?
Maybe it's not blood.
What you need is a psychiatrist, my dear.
She's bored. And don't even think about smoking.
Here. It'll help you not smoke.
You're going to ruin your stomach with all that junk.
It's only chewing gum.
Can I put a film on?
Put a film on? Why do you want to bother everyone right now?
To amuse myself.
Amuse yourself. We're all bored.
And why can't you leave those bowls alone? You've been annoying everybody with them for hours.
Let her put it on. But with the sound turned down.
I made contact. I just now found them.
Eridano, attention. TK Eridano, come in. Come in with emergency modulated sound if you are having trouble with the set. Come in. Over.
We hear you perfectly now. TK Eridano, listening. We hear you perfectly now. Peter, we're fine. How are things with you? Tell us what's happening. Eridano, over.
We're fine. There's nothing new. We're glad to hear you again. We've had tuning problems. Over.
What do you know about Scott? Sector 102. Over.
We've lost touch completely. There must be some sort of radioelectric disturbance. The last we heard was about the death of old Charles.
Pete! Peter! Answer me! Over.
Chris, what are those noises that sound like screams? What's happening to you? Over.
They're
not ours. They must be some kind of interference. I've been hearing those noises for days.
Maybe they're coming from the official transmitter.
We haven't picked them up in days. We miss their musical programs. You don't happen to have any good classics there, do you?
Okay. A few minutes of Brahms. Then we'll sign off.
Now I know the depths of our cowardice. We have resisted his plans. Ashes for a new beginning.
How was that? So long, and be patient.
Sure. Be patient.
They're shortwave transmitters. There's nothing strange about that.
Well, we'll have to keep on waiting, right? Do you really think it's worth the trouble? Well, shall we have an explosion?
I think you know what you're doing.
You have more confidence in me than you had in Sheridan. And that's not right. With him, it was a matter of divine will.
You want to live as much as we do.
Mm-hmm. Do I?
As far as I'm concerned, don't be too sure.
Well, doesn't anybody have anything to do? You, Carol, weren't you going to put a film on?
I have a headache. I'm going to my room.
No smoking, huh?
All right.
Bob, come on to bed.
Go on, get out of here.
Bob, what's going to happen?
Nothing. Nothing's going to happen. Everything's going to be all right. These were taken at Newport, where we were lucky to get an invitation.
Marge, didn't your first husband's handshake when he took that picture?
No, he preferred to stay on land and work on the divorce.
Hey, that was good, Margie.
Tell me what's funny.
Don't be that way, Chris. The whole gang, well, except Chris. Hey, what's that doing there? That's not part of the collection. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to show you a shot of Margie in the nude.
Hey.
Beautiful.
That's what I call a dirty trick, Robert.
Show's finished, folks.
And the whiskey's terminated now. But the party goes on. Come on, Carol. Give us a demonstration.
Hey, great idea! What are you waiting for? Come on.
Carol, come on.
That's a girl. Very good, Arthur. Your wife is surprising.
Take it off!
Take it off!
Where's Chris? Do you suppose I frightened him?
All right, Carol. That's enough.
Oh, come on, Arthur. Leave her alone. She's just beginning.
Yeah, go on, Carol.
Where's Chris?
Ah, leave him alone. He's still wet behind the ears.
Come on, take it off.
Take it off. Take it off. Come on.
Take it off. Come on, honey. Take it off.
Come on. Come on. Take it off. Margie. Come on.
Yeah, Marge, it's your turn. Come on.
Take it off, Margie.
Take it off.
No.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's my turn now. Wow. Look at that. Keep still. If you knew how to drink, we wouldn't have to go through all this.
What's wrong, Mom?
Nothing. Go to bed.
Chris, do as you're told. Go to bed.
Well, was that Marge screaming?
She was upset. Maybe she had a nightmare.
She's more hysterical than she thinks.
Don't talk so loud.
Don't worry about him. He won't wake up. You could run a steamroller over him. What do you want? I'm afraid I went too far this afternoon.
You all seem to be enjoying yourselves.
Everybody but you. I need a distraction. I'm afraid I'll start screaming any minute now. I'm not like your mother. I don't have to hide it. I'm terrified.
Come to my room.
No, Chris, please, leave. Here. You need a shave.
I'm not up to anything. I feel terrible. You ask him for me. He'll give him to you right away.
He's your friend. Do it yourself. Or are you afraid of him? Sure. He's a real man. And look at you. Whimpering like a baby for a few pills.
Why don't you shut up? I've had enough out of you. I'm tired of you putting me down, make me look like a piece of shit. Like you did yesterday, dancing for Chris and for Robert.
And why should that upset you? There are a lot of things that haven't bothered you for a long time now.
Everything's a game to you, Carol. Marge is upset by your insinuations. It's a difficult situation. We shouldn't make problems. We're their guests.
Is that all that worries you?
Don't use too much water. The filter's almost saturated, and we don't have any more.
Hey, the water's gone. Turn off the tap.
Carol, you know you're supposed to take only one shower a week, don't you?
If you call this a shower.
It was fun yesterday. We had a good time. It's too bad Marge drank too much.
Chris? Try the sweater on.
What do I want with another sweater? It's hardly cold in here.
What's the matter?
I almost prefer you when you're drinking. Oh, I'm sorry, Mom. I shouldn't have said that.
Attention, attention. We interrupt this program to bring you a bulletin from the Coordinating Center. Attention. The Coordinating Center, faced with the possibility that the present difficult situation will continue, finds it necessary to announce a series of obligatory regulations to achieve maximum economies in the consumption of food, fuel, and oxygen. The cell chiefs, or those persons of the civil defense to whom command has fallen, shall not hesitate in using arms for the strict discipline of the following regulations. 1.
We're not going to get out of here. We're trapped.
All reserves.
It's all over. Why go on with this farce?
Marge!
It's a farce.
Margie!
We should have let Sheridan finish us off. It would have been better.
We repeat. Cell chiefs, or those persons of the civil defense to whom command has fallen, shall not hesitate in using arms for the strict discipline of the following regulations.
The outside radioactivity is not dropping, at least not as rapidly as we expected. Now, as cell chief, I have to be prepared to see that the orders from civil defense are carried out.
What's left of civil defense?
Beginning with today's meal, all consumption will be cut in half.
Give me as much as usual. I prefer to eat a meal every other day.
You'll do just like the rest of us.
Can I not eat if I don't want to?
Do as you want.
Here, Kitty. It's my food.
It belongs to all of us.
Carol, you have to eat.
We have to get used to the idea that this is just the beginning. The problems will really begin when we're able to go outside. And we'd be better off if those damn fools in civil defense would tell us who won. I'm beginning to suspect the worst. Now, if the enemy has won, we must be prepared to organize a resistance outside. Now, I have papers showing the secret location of stores of weapons put there for that possibility.
Perhaps the others weren't as well prepared. And everyone's dead.
Many may be left alive and hiding in the shelters, waiting like us. We have to be prepared for this, to take the initiative in the attack.
We could think about getting scattered groups together, regrouping.
Chris, put out that lamp. If you want light, come to the table.
It can't be Arthur. Robert gave him some more sleeping pills. Where did Sheridan sleep? In this bunk?
Yes. The upper one was mine. Why do you want to know that now?
I don't know. Sometimes I think about him. Those shrieks you get from the radio, like a soul in hell. They make me think of him.
He was very strange, but a great guy. He couldn't even pretend to hurt a child. I don't understand what happened.
He seemed to like us all a lot. How'd you become friends with him?
He used to visit us a lot. When my mother married again, he still came to see us. But he only talked to me about religious things, sometimes. He accepted my parents for what they were. Robert said Sheridan kept on coming because he was in love with Margie. I never noticed anything strange about him, but then, of course, I was just a kid. But Robert liked him just like my real father did.
What's that?
That's what I'm trying to find out. Someone is trying to communicate with us. But don't worry. I don't think it could be Sheridan. I think that from some distant galaxy, they're trying to find out what happened. Maybe they want to help us. But I can't make out their signal.
You always end up frightening me with your fantasies.
I've thought about it a lot. And you know, I'm not so sure it's a fantasy.
Well, everything all right?
I was wondering if it's really true that they sing when the oxygen gets scarce.
You'll be better off if you never find out.
We could tie his beak closed.
Then how would he be able to sing?
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you, Marge?
You both seem very happy. What's going on?
It must be serious,
The table's off balance.
The iodized calcium is used up. The carbon dioxide is reaching a dangerous level.
We might be able to open the intake to the outside air when the storm is over.
Can I help with anything?
Give me the oil can. I'm worried. And there's no way to tell what the oxygen level is in the atmosphere. Since Sheridan forced the safety valve, it hasn't worked right. I'm trying to adjust it by eye, but I'm afraid we're using it up too rapidly.
It would be pretty funny if Sheridan got his own way after being dead.
What does it say in one of his notes? Haven't you read his notebook? It goes something like this. To live, you have to die, for this is the moment chosen by the Lord. According to him, to oppose the divine will meant putting off the coming of the kingdom of God. But if we survive, it'll be by the will of God.
Have you checked everything out?
Robert! Robert!
Poor pussy. What could have happened?
Perhaps it's best this way.
Could have been a natural death.
What else could it have been?
I don't think it's just the billiard table. The whole shelter is tilted. 2 degrees at least.
Don't be silly.
What do you say we eat? Although I admire your charms, Carol, do you think you're dressed properly? We don't dare let down. Discipline will keep up our morale.
Please, Robert. Oh, all right.
It could have been a readjustment of the superficial layers of the Earth's crust.
See, we may be close to the epicenter of one of the explosions.
You certainly find it easy to make alarming guesses.
Are you going to start censorship?
If necessary. Chris, come on to the table. Why do we always have to wait for you?
Carol's not here.
What do you care what Carol is doing? Do as Robert says.
Even though you sleep with Robert, he's not my father.
Wait a moment. Just what's gotten into everyone today? And you, young man, get one thing straight. I may not be your father, but what I say here goes.
Is this suitable for dinner? Given the circumstances, it seems quite adequate to me. This way you won't contaminate me.
I heard a sound and thought maybe it was you. Strangely enough, I believe I saw a rat.
A rat?
There. For Carol. She's not eating well.
I'm sorry, but there can't be any exceptions. I don't think you fully understand our situation. This is all we have left. And this.
Pussy.
I just want you to know how far we have to go to make use of everything. And I hope I don't have to remind you of the emergency regulations. You're a soldier just as I am.
Tell me, what's the matter with you? You know that instead of coming down here, we should have joined our unit. They call that desertion where I come from.
We did the sensible thing. It was essential to survive the attack.
We shouldn't have agreed to come to their shelter.
Did we have any choice? Was this or...
I see the readjustment is still going on.
The shelter's very strong.
It might have blocked the exit.
Look, here! Oh.
I have to get it ready for when we go out. We don't know what we'll find up there.
They can't all be dead.
They've probably all come out of their shelters and we don't even know it.
Someone has got to go outside and see what's happening. I'll go myself if you want me to.
The counter will tell us when we can go outside. With the present level of radioactivity, going out is suicide.
Suppose the counter isn't working right. Are we supposed to rot here?
Yes. We may have to do just that. Look, take it easy. Let's finish our billiard game.
I don't feel like playing.
I really don't need you to finish it. Let's see, it was my shot.
No. There are more important things to be done.
What's the matter with you? This just doesn't seem to be your day. What's more important? '94.
Leave that alone.
95.
The billiard table is off balance.
That makes it much harder for me, doesn't it? 96.
Nothing.
'97. We're tied. 3 more and I finish you off. It bores me to see you fool yourself. If you could only see yourself the way you really are. 98.
And what would you be in my position?
99.
You know something? Carol's period hasn't come yet. And she tells me just like that, as if it were nothing. Marge, tell your brat what that means.
It means nothing.
It means that Carol is pregnant. Huh? Do you think I had anything to do with it? I can see what you're thinking. And you told me because I'm so understanding. What'd you expect me to do, adopt it?
Please, Arthur.
Don't you worry. We're all one big happy family. Well, I'm damn tired of being understanding. I said I don't want to play!
Don't ever do it again. Don't ever do it again, or you'll regret it. $100.
You'll have to give him something.
Take a tranquilizer. You'll be less dangerous if you poison yourself.
Is it true what Arthur said?
It could be. I just made a remark in passing. He figured the rest out for himself. I didn't think he'd put 2 and 2 together.
What are you going to do?
Arthur will get over it.
But I love you, Carol.
If he's changed his mind, it's too late.
I don't think he killed himself.
Lord, you who has been our refuge from generation to generation, since before the mountains were formed, and the earth was formed, over the centuries of centuries thou art God.
Who killed him?
You return to man until he is broken, and you say, be converted, sons of men, because 1,000 years in your eyes are like yesterday which is past, and like one of the night watches. Violent deaths, like a torrent of water, are like dreams, like the grass that grows in the morning. In the morning they flower and grow. In the evening is cut, dries. Amen. Arthur Singer, rest in peace. Amen.
You have to go after him. We still have time to save him.
He's chosen to pay for his crime.
He didn't do it. Chris is not a killer. Let me go.
Marge, it's too late.
He's my son. I have to go to him.
Too late, Marge.
Go after him. You've got to go after Chris.
No one leaves here. Nobody.
Chris, why did you leave?
Carol, come out and eat. Do you hear me?
Yes, I'm coming.
What do you do in your room all day?
Nothing. How's Marge?
She's better. Right now, she's sleeping.
Sheridan.
Marge, listen. Please, you must listen. You must understand. We should all be dead by now. It's his will.
Bastard! The sedatives aren't enough now. We have to come to a decision.
You didn't have to kill him. No.
Margie, what's the matter? This will calm you down.
No. It wasn't an accident. You reached there in the injection.
There was nothing else to do.
No.
Marge, we had to kill him. It was for all of us.
Help me!
This way you won't make any more trouble for me. Marge, I know what's best for you. You have to take the injection.
No! 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 him. And then Arthur. And now Chris is outside, going through the most terrible agonies. All alone. Dying all alone. Oh, Carol! We must get out of here, we must! I'd rather die outside!
We're going to have to fight to stay alive.
What are you going to do with those? We'll need them for when we go outside. For the after effects of the radioactivity. Do you think I'd be capable of hurting you? Turn me loose. This is absurd. Why do you believe what she says?
Arthur couldn't have killed himself. He didn't take any more pills. But he did eat the meal that you prepared for us.
What do you care about Arthur? He was a danger to all of us. Don't you understand? In order to survive, we didn't need him. The fittest always survive.
And you're one of them.
And you. You and I.
Thanks for including me.
As long as one man and one woman are left alive, it can all begin again, Carol.
Yes, you're right. Up until just a little while ago, it didn't matter to me one way or another. But now I want to live. You know why? To see you in court charged with murder.
In court? Before what judges? We'll have to make new rules. We who survive.
I think I'm beginning to understand Sheridan. It is better to die than to live at any price.
You'll have to come to me. I turned the oxygen off. To burn up the excess, I turned it off. And you don't know how to turn it back on.
We'll figure it out.
This is insane. Do you hear me? Turn me loose. You should hang the canary from the ceiling. That way it'll warn us in plenty of time.
Don't you worry. I'll notice in sufficient time.
The oxygen is running out. The floor is the last place it runs out. Are you going to turn me loose to eat? I suppose I'm going to eat. After all, I am the hunter.
The Geiger counter's gone up. It's going crazy.
It's radioactive waves. Soon this damn storm will pass. Do you remember how clean the air was after storms? It was ozone, the heart of oxygen.
Margie! Carol! Carol!
Carol! Carol! Carol, wake up!
Marge. Murderer! You killed Marge! You killed her! Murderer!
You are lost and gone forever. Come on out, Carol. Carol, you have to eat.
Let me go. I want to die outside.
We can't die, Carol.
We must live. We cannot die. Attention. The Coordinating Center, faced with the fact that the drop in outside radioactivity may soon allow us to leave the shelters, has issued the following communique. Our most urgent task is the rehabilitation of the judicial structure in accordance with the emergency laws designed to prevent lootings and to punish summarily those crimes committed taking advantage of catastrophic situations. It is a duty, therefore, of all surviving citizens to collaborate in the reestablishment of the rule of law, the indispensable basis for the survival of our society. In later bulletins, we will give you instructions as to the leaving of shelters and receiving of assistance. Please stay tuned in.
Did that damn radio wake you up, Carol?
I was already awake. I heard the whole thing.
They've gone crazy. All of them. Everything's destroyed.
Can you hear me, Chris? Do you read me? TK Giordano. Double Omicron here. We have a broadcast recording from the
It's Peter!
Coordinating Center. Radioactivity is decreasing. In the Palmdale area north of Los Angeles, it's almost disappeared. We're going to make it, Chris. I'd like to hear you. Over.
Carol, what were you thinking of doing to me? Hmm?
Robert, there's hardly any radioactivity outside.
Will you accuse me, Carol? I'd like to think that you wouldn't.
We can go out now.
You're the only witness. If you lie, no one will ever know. I don't want to hurt you. Together we can forget this nightmare.
Carol, all I ask is that you swear you won't say anything.
Robert, please.
All I want is your word, Carol. Promise me. Carol, open up.
Robert, let me go. I swear it, I won't say anything.
TK Aradano. What's wrong? I hope you're receiving me. Come in, Chris. Outside radioactivity is dropping steadily. The coordinating center has ordered all survivors from this area to report to the Fulton and Placentia Hospital. The coordinating center has ordered all survivors in this area to report to the Fulton and Placentia Hospital. Chris, come in. Over. TK Aradano, come in. Over.
Marge.
It's us.
Hello there. Good morning.
Hi. We finally made it.
At last. I'm dying of thirst. We were about to start without you.
It's about time you got
How have you
here.
been?
We finally arrived. Marge.
Hi.
You look great, Marge.
You're just being kind.
How are you, Mrs. Singer? Fine to see you. Fine. We'll see you later.
Be good, Chris.
Oh, come with me. I want to show you something. Oh, you remember
always
Reverend
Good to
Sheridan.
know you. Same here.
Do you know Reverend Sheridan?
Hello, how are you?
What would you like to drink?
I'd like a whiskey.
I've finally made up my mind. This model is more expensive, but it's much safer. It has everything. What do you think?
I don't really know. I don't like the idea very much.
Listen, with the information we have to be prepared for anything. We'll feel a lot better with the shelter. We're going to build it right over there.
So the ruins of the house won't block the exit.
That's it, precisely. You have to think of everything, you know. Everything is...
Your drinks are ready.
Oh, let's have a drink.
Really?